March, but no snow in this March. Good morning, sir.
Hey,
Morning.
morning everyone. So Abdul said he's going to come late. Nisha is there, Shazia is not here, and Hassan said he might not be joining. So all right, we can get started, guys. Let me pull up my screen. Did you guys get a chance to go through all the material that we had covered so far in the class?
A little bit, and I tried to sign up for both Azure DevOps and Jira.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I also watched the video link that you sent for Azure DevOps, but I think for me, it was personally, I felt it was too fast. So I'll take some time. And the reason is because in Azure DevOps, they have different processes, like different options. One is basic, agile, scrum. So
You don't have to worry on all those things. Only thing you have to practice is how to create user stories in that and
okay,
how to create epics. That's it.
but then we don't have to worry about which options to choose,
No, it
James.
is all preset. When you go into the company, everything is preset.
Okay. And for Jira, there were two options, either Confluence or Atlassian, I believe. So I didn't know which one to download. And I have used Jira before, but it was more like, resolving tickets.
Yeah, and I think let me go back and check Atlassian or Confluence. It's not Confluence for sure. Confluence is used for business requirements, if I'm not wrong. It could be Atlassian.
Yeah. So I've used Jira very briefly before, but it was mainly to solve tickets.
Yeah. So just to let you know, guys, right? Using tools in Agile is extremely simple. Your role is only two things: create a backlog, like which is features or epics, and create a user story. You're not going to do anything other than that in while creating the user stories in the Agile environment. There will be a question in the interview which tools you have used, how did you create user stories, and that's all. I think there would not be any more drilling on the tools. So I really don't want you guys to worry about tools that much. It's 15 minutes job. It should not take you more than that. Instead of creating a word user story in Word document, you are just having one field for each thing. Like there will be user story ID, user story title, user story acceptance criteria, user story description, which is, as a user, I want this so that for this user story, which teams are being impacted. This user story is dependent on which user stories. That's all you need to worry about, right? It is literally creating a Word document in the shared format where anybody can look at that information. So it's extremely simple. It's like a Word doc, right? When you're working on Word doc, it takes about 30-40 minutes when you're using it first time to understand what Word doc is offering. But once you know that, it's all like extremely simple. It's like day in and day out, you're going to do that. So as long as you know ADO, Jira is extremely similar. The only difference is that they may have a few changes in the flow. Clicking here will make it a little different than what is in ADO. But the basic element of Jira or Azure DevOps does not change anything. You will have the exact same number of fields in Jira that you have in Azure DevOps to create a user story. They might be just called differently. They will be labeled differently. That's it.
But didn't you say that you will send us the invitation for the project, the current project we're doing it? Like we didn't get anything. I didn't get any invitation.
So the one that I had open with you all, it was from my office ID, so I could not invite you all in that one.
Okay.
And I think when I sent the message, I said that all the user stories that we have in the user document that I've shared with you all, I think I had like 20-25 user stories in that one. So what I said was go ahead and add those user stories in the Azure DevOps when you take your trial access.
So we just need to save it and open in.
Yes, just save it just for your practice. This is all for your practice, right? How to use Azure DevOps. So these are the two heavily used tools: Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Outlook, of course. So all the Microsoft products, right, which is PowerPoint, Excel, Word, Outlook, Microsoft Teams, then Azure DevOps is also a Microsoft product. These are very heavily used products in all the companies.
So can I send invite to the group from Azure DevOps?
You can, if you are creating, you have an option when you will be creating Azure DevOps account, you will be an admin. So you can always invite other people if you want to.
Yeah, I did create an account.
Yes. So you because when you create an account, it's a trial account, you will be an admin.
Yeah.
And you have access to invite to other people to your project that you're creating.
Okay. Okay.
So should I select when it says welcome to the project, it says boards, repos, pipelines? So
Guys, let me stop you guys there, please. My question was different. My question was that did you guys get chance to catch up everything in the class that we've covered so far? It was not about Azure DevOps. Azure DevOps was a small fraction of thing that we've done in the class, right? And I'll talk about the question that you had, Shrey. I really want to make sure that you guys are following up and catching up on the class. Did you guys, other than Azure DevOps, everything else you guys are good on? Have you read through those things? Have you read through those documents?
Yeah, I read through
Yeah.
PowerPoint thing.
Again, you guys are not answering my question. I'm trying to find out. We had covered several things in the class. In the class documents folder, I have all the documents attached there. Did you guys get chance to review every single document from there? And do you guys feel comfortable now with those documents?
I'm 60% there, James.
Yeah. We need a little bit more time. There's a lot of documents.
There's
Okay.
a lot of information, and I think
So that
it's
answers
just
my question.
yeah. So I
That
did
answers
go
my question.
through documents, and not all of them. I also went through last class recording because it covered a lot, and then the link was missing, if to one of the recordings. So I was, as you said, I was going back to the documents, and then I was watching the videos where I wasn't.
Mhm.
And the thing with documents, I realized, is there are so many jargons that you have used. So it's just feeling confident about it and understanding it in a much more better way rather than just reading it through, and how you'll talk about it. So like feasibility studies, if you ask me right now, I have no idea.
Mhm.
Even if I have some concept, I won't know how to answer it in a confident way. So that's what I did over the weekend.
I'm
over the
glad that you're
last
60% through, right? I'm glad that you're 60% through. So can I ask you that the 60% stuff that you have gone through, if I ask you any question from that 60% thing, you will be able to answer that?
I can at least attempt.
Okay, can you give me an
Yeah.
example of can you give me an example of what you've studied?
So I studied the basics, like the difference between agile, waterfall.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Business requirement.
Let's talk about that, right? If you want to explain difference between agile and waterfall, what would that be?
Oh my God, you're putting me right on the spot.
Yes. So guys, you guys need to understand our job is to be on the spot every day.
Oh my
Right.
God.
Our job is to be, I'm not trying to scare you guys. I'm trying to give you very specific instructions and very specific things. You do not have to wander from the direction that I'm giving it to you, because it may not really help you. I'm giving you exactly this is what you need to do. This is what is expected from your office. And if you do this, you will just shine in your office. But if you go back and forth on things, it will not really help you. Right. So I understand there are a lot of jargons, and the entire class, all this thing that we've done is covered jargons, right? We have gone in a very systematic approach. At least I feel that way. That we have gone through a very systematic approach. We have covered extensive BRDs. We have extensive PowerPoints to go through each and every single topic. What is going to happen now? And the reason I wanted to really ask this question today is because if you are not keeping up with the pace, right? It's okay if you're not able to do it for a week or two. But I think it's been like we are in the literally 6th week of the class right now, right? And if I know Amir has joined late, so he's catching up. I can totally understand. But for other folks, you guys have been from the beginning, right? So 1 or 2 weeks, it's okay. I understand that you guys had something and you guys cannot catch up. But if it is the 6th week of the class and you are still saying that you're not caught up on everything, then that's a question to worry, not for me, but for you all. Because after a few weeks from now, you'll forget everything that we covered in the class. You have to go through all the videos again. You have to spend the entire time again to really recap on things, right? So the easy way to keep up with class is always to revise whatever you've done in the class before you come to the next class. Every weekend, whenever I'm giving you something, right, revise that, come back, ask me questions. So in that way, you'll be able to keep up with the pace. And I can tell you the pace that we are having in the class is very moderate pace. At office, this is like whatever pace we are having, this is nothing. They literally work like 4 or 5 times faster than this. And I push people in my team to work even 5 times faster than this, right? This is the expectation. So there is no one is going to just give you 100K like that, right? There has to be effort, and it is doable. The good part about this is it is doable. It just takes some practice and some discipline. That's it. So hence I wanted to ask this question. So I'm really glad that Nisha has gone through 60% of the stuff. That's a good progress. How about everyone else?
Well, I've read it as fast as I can, but
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not too concerned about you. I know you joined a little late, so
thank you.
It's not, I think, for other folks. If you guys are not revising, trust me, you guys are going to forget everything in a few weeks from now. This is a very volatile subject. You need to keep up with it. You need to be in touch of it every day, or at least every few days, and keep reading the documents. Otherwise, we'll start forgetting things pretty easily, right? But never mind. I think we can probably get started. So just again, don't worry about the jargons. If you do not know any understand any jargons, all you have to do is just go through the document and read through those things, and you will get an idea what the jargon is. Okay, I think let's get started first. I think we'll probably cover more information as we are going into the class. So we are going to cover a third project today, and there are some basic questions being asked in the interview. They are more theoretical in nature than being really practical about it. Or sometimes they may ask this, sometimes they may not ask this. It is important for us to know what those things are, though. So I'll just make sure that you guys are aware about that information. And let me. Okay, let me open our class notes so you guys can see what I'm typing at the same time.
So because I wasn't there for your introductory session, and it's no longer available also on YouTube because you almost got hacked.
Yes, and I'm going to put all those things back. Don't worry about that. Just give me a couple of days time. I'm trying to give access to everyone privately, but YouTube has a bug where it constantly, I think I tried like 25, 30 times day before yesterday. It constantly kept saying that, sorry, we were not able to give access. And you might, some of you might have received some emails that, hey, there is a new YouTube video being added in the channel. Did you guys receive any emails in last few days?
No, not me.
Because I think
I
it was
received
showing.
one.
You received one, right? Because it was
Yeah.
showing me that some of you, when I added all of you, it was showing that some of you got the access, some of you did not get the access still. And I kept trying again and again. So the stupid YouTube has a bug. And I went all over the forum to find out what that bug is. There is literally no solution out there. So I'm going to try a few more things. If that is not possible, then I might have to come up with another approach.
So there were two pages. There were 2 pages in there that has all the jargon that I requested you email it to me.
I'm going to add that right now in the channel itself. So you all have access to that. You don't have to go back to your email and find that information. Cool. Let me go back and so today again we are going to cover a lot of jargons, but again these jargons are like these jargons you don't have to remember, like you don't do ratify things, right? This is again you need to just associate it with an example and you will remember what this is. So let me share my screen now, and can you all see the Word document that I'm sharing?
I see it.
Okay. So today is what, 4/3. And guys, I wanted to tell you this. I think I said this in my all class, but I forgot to mention in this class. I am not a sales guy. I don't use sugar-coated words for a reason, because I'm caring for your success. I can very well say that, hey, whatever you guys have done, it's extremely well. You guys are on the track and you guys are rocking and all those things, right? But I know that is not going to get you success. What is needed to get you a success is I'm very well aware about, because I interview people every day in and out in my office and I work with these people. Hence, I'm being very honest in my opinions and where you're lacking and where you are excelling. So don't take this in a wrong way. And any feedback that I'm giving again is not for one person, it's for everyone in the class. So I hope that will be taken in a positive spirit. And
Yes.
yeah. And if you guys want me to be a like sugar coating guy where I just
No.
keep praising you guys, I don't mind. I do that very well in my office, but I don't do it in my classes.
We won't learn if you do that.
Sorry?
We won't learn if you do that.
That is the essence, right? Because you are starting as a beginner, and I really want to tell you these are the expectations from company, right? I don't want to misguide you. And
Thank
it's
you.
okay. It's okay to admit that, hey, I'm nervous, I'm scared. That's completely fine. And that we will never learn new things if you're not scared or if you are not worried about something. It's a good sign, but just take it to your advantage.
Thank you.
Cool. So type of analysis. So there are different type of analysis. I think we have done this analysis before, but I'll just quickly touch base here to talk about this, what this analysis types are, so that you guys know in the interviews you can use these jargons. Okay. So we have gap analysis, root cause analysis, risk analysis, impact. Business analysis is everything this course is about, right? It's all business analysis, whatever we're doing, and stakeholder analysis. So you have different type of analysis here. Can someone tell me what is a gap analysis?
As is and where you want to be.
Exactly, as is and to be process, right?
Yeah.
Whenever you want to perform gap analysis, all you're going to do is you're trying to find out the current state of the product and the future state of the product, or the current state of the problem and what should the solution be. Always you just take care of that. So gap analysis is always about that, right? A couple of examples for gap analysis. We have done 3 or 4 projects in the class, right? Where someone was taking payments from manually over the phone for Uber ride. And now that will be taken through the automated cards online, credit card. Customers were not able to apply online for a mortgage, and now they can do it. That's another example, right? As is and to be. Root cause analysis. What is the root cause analysis? We all have done this throughout our life.
What is the problem? Where does the problem lie?
Where does the problem lie? Okay. Anyone else wants to add anything there?
Where does the problem came from?
Problem came from, okay.
Could it be that I want this because this?
No. I want this because that is a user story, right? This is an analysis I'm talking about. So root cause analysis, as Abdul and Amir and Shreya, right? You try to find out. So let's say something.
Why do we need that product?
What was that, something?
Why do we need to have that product?
Mm.
Why statement?
You can perform a root cause analysis on why do we need to have this product. That's completely fine. So root cause analysis could be used for anything and everything, right? For example, if I retrospect about my life, hey, what has gone wrong in my life? Okay, this is the thing that has gone wrong. Why? Why this thing had gone wrong in my life? What is the reason behind it? Right? If something has been really good about me in my life, then I'll be again retrospecting. Hey, what has gone so well and why? Right. So you constantly ask this why and what questions. Whenever you are finding any problem, you try to find out there are multiple reasons because of which problem is occurring. There could be several reasons because of which things are failing in project, right? But you want to find out that one or two critical problem. That's why it said root cause analysis. That is actually taking care of the entire project and affecting the entire project. For example, if you are if you have built a functionality and just assume that login functionality itself is not working, right? And once you log into your account, all the wrong information is shown. So what is the root cause? Root cause is not that it is the wrong information is shown on the account. Root cause is that customers cannot log in properly. If they log in properly, they would never see wrong information. Give you an idea. So there are multiple reasons, multiple things that are failing. You need to sit back and find out what is the one key reason because of which this is happening. So what you do here is you offer a brainstorming session to the team, and everyone will start discussing, hey, these are the problems we are facing. And then as a team, you will come up with an idea, hey, this looks like the core problem that we need to solve. This is finding out core issues and problems within a product, team, or an application. So when we were looking at the, again, Uber example or digital mortgage, you guys have done this root cause analysis. You guys have done really well for a digital mortgage project. So you guys literally went and found out on every single page of Academy Mortgage project that we had, what was wrong in that, right? And what was the case study that we were doing? The case study was that, hey, we were only getting 20 leads from 2,000 customers every day, correct? So what was the root cause behind it? So root cause was that website was really, really bad. The information was very scattered and people were not able to find the information easily. There were several things. Website could be wrong. Calculators could be showing wrong information. Customers are not interested. Several reasons. But what was the key reason? Website was poorly developed website, because of which customers are dropping out. So that's the root cause analysis, right? And again, I'm trying to give you an example so that you remember, you are able to connect with this, right? Risk analysis. I'll come back to that in a minute. Let's talk about the impact analysis. What is impact analysis?
Impact analysis, just a wild guess, if I may. You're just doing how is resulting, the results that are coming to all stakeholders, what is the impact on them? Basically looking at customers, the users also, you don't want to make an application. I'm just thinking about Agile, or SDLC. Too difficult for users to use. So if your bank teller is not user friendly, then that's the impact on the user.
Yes, so number of impacted customers or users, and how they're impacted. And how they are impacted. This is what you do in the impact analysis. And there is one more impact analysis. You do impact analysis on the team, identifying the internal or external team members being affected, team members of project being affected by. Make sense?
What about quality of the product? How is that going to impact? So where does that fit in?
So there is one more you can add here, quality analysis. That's the class that we are going to cover tomorrow, how to do quality analysis. And that whatever we do, quality is always part of it. It's an integral part. So we'll talk about this more tomorrow. It's a separate question, Nisha. And impact, whatever product you are creating, it will always have an impact on quality analysis team. So when I say you're identifying the internal and external team members being affected, one of the team member here would be QA that will be affected by your product. Does that answer your question?
Yes, yeah, thank you.
Business analysis is everything we have done in the class. This is the topic, right? This is the job you're going to apply for, business analyst. So,
Okay, now question.
mhm.
So it's not limited to just cost benefit, and it's not just limited to market research. It's everything we've done in class, which means
Everything you've done in the class. So there is a slide that I had prepared,
yes,
business analysis, and remember there was a BRD checklist that I've given to you. BRD
yes,
checklist.
yes.
That is the thing that you should be referring here. BRD checklist.
In the BRD checklist, business rules are there. The first one,
Everything is business analysis. Whatever you do as part of that checklist, everything is called business analysis. That's your core role.
the 17 or 18 points.
Yes, that's your core role. Writing
Okay.
user stories and all, finding this, that is your core role. That is what you, when you say business analysis, that's exactly what you look into. What is the current process? What is the future process? What are the mockups looking like? What are the user journey looks like? Then business rules, threshold conditions, error scenarios, negative scenarios, everything is part of that. Business analysis. Quality analysis, we will be covering this in tomorrow's class. This is one more important topic that you want to know for your interview and for your job. So it will require an extensive discussions on that. Stakeholder analysis. Can someone give me an example? We've done this like 3 or 4 times in the class.
So stakeholder is anybody who's invested, you know, so
Anybody
it
who
could
is
invested. You know, so it could be if we take the Uber, for example, it will be the driver, the customer, even Uber employees, everybody who has invested.
Yes.
You know,
So now,
right?
so invested is not the right word there. Anybody who is directly or indirectly involved in the project, they are all
Okay. Okay.
Anybody who is directly or indirectly involved in the project are called stakeholders. So if you remember, when we were creating project charter, we exclusively found out that which team members we would need for this project when we created the project charter or scope document, right? As part of the document, what you need to find out is this is what literally you do. Developers, QA, BA, project manager, team lead, architect, designer, subject matter expert, business expert, legal, compliance, marketing, all these folks that are going to be involved in your project, right? You want to find out all these roles and which person from their team is going to support this project. Okay.
Where's the PO and the Scrum Master?
This is, I was covering for waterfall, that's why I did not cover that. But if it is
Okay.
agile, this is what you will have in waterfall. In agile, you have the same set of people, but a couple of new roles. So you will have here product owner, product manager, you will have Scrum Master here. And rest everyone, all the other roles remain same. So you need to find out for every project that you'll be working, when you go when you start your job, your first question should be, hey, why are we doing this W4H, right? That framework. Why are we doing this project? What is the benefit out of that? Second question is, who all are involved in this project? So this is the list that they will give it to you. If you work with people at a director level or above them, all they're interested in knowing that who owns what and who is going to get things done. That's it. That's what they're worried about. They don't really want to go into the details of what the project is about and all those things. So this is stakeholder analysis. There is one more aspect of stakeholder analysis, which is RACI. We're going to cover this in class today. When you do the stakeholder analysis, there is a set framework. If you ask me, have I created this matrix ever in my life? Officially in my company, never. But I do this for every single project unofficially and every day. And I'll tell you why. Give me 5 minutes before we touch this topic. And I think this is, so these are different type of analysis that you do as a product owner or as a BA, right? There are another analysis that we talked about was market analysis, market research, right? Market research and competitive analysis. Market analysis is nothing but market research. Competitive analysis is again nothing but competitive research. What is competitive research? If you have 5 different mortgage companies, what are they offering? What their website looks like? What their product looks like? What is the difference between our website and their website? Right? So if you want to start a competition with Uber, Uber is your competition. How could you do things differently than Uber? What are the stakes that Uber is leading and not you? This is not done by you mostly. This is for product managers. But again, you can, if you want, you can probably call this out. Right?
I have a question. Hello, can you hear me? So when you say marketing analysis, the impact analysis, isn't that more aggressive on market analysis?
I missed your question. Can you repeat it again, please?
Okay, the impact analysis you mentioned that market analysis, isn't that impact analysis knowing that how your project is going and how other people are implementing projects?
So,
and what is that?
Your voice was breaking a lot, but if I understood your question, you're trying to see if impact analysis and market analysis are same or not.
Yes.
They're completely different. So when you are doing impact analysis, yeah, it could be that, hey, because when you say number of impacted customers or users, right? This is your market. When you say number of impacted customers or users, this is your market, right? People who are being impacted, but over to find out what the market is about. Is there a market or not? What the market is about. This is when you say impact, you're trying to find out how someone is going to get benefit out of it. This market analysis is basically before even you build something, why do we need to build something? This is addressing why, and these people are actually getting the benefit out of it. That's why they are being impacted. But these are the people who would really find out that there is a need for your product or not. Is it making sense?
Thank you. Makes sense, yes.
Are we using all these analyses in both the waterfall and
yes? This analysis are no way restrictive to a waterfall or agile.
Okay.
Could be used for both and in any order in waterfall and cool.
So these are the responsibilities of the BA in waterfall.
Both waterfall and agile, both. Not responsibilities. In order to fulfill your responsibilities, you will use this analysis, one type of analysis. What is your responsibility? To create a user story, to create a business requirement document, to make sure that the product has a good quality in it, to work with other stakeholders, right? So to do those responsibilities, you will often use one of this analysis or multiple analysis from here. This analysis will help you complete your responsibilities properly. This is more like elicitation techniques.
we can use this once in a project or
anytime, anywhere. There is literally no formula to use this. You can use it anywhere and anytime. Of course, this market and competitive research, this happens only in the beginning, but other things could happen anytime and anywhere during the project. Cool.
So the market research and comparative analysis must have been done at a higher level before.
Yes, that's why I said it's mostly for a product manager or a director level thing. It's not something that you have to do, but it's important for you to know what they do in market research and what they do in competitive research, because they might ask you a question in the interview. They may not make you work on this, but they definitely can ask you a question in the interview about this.
So we can, in practical life, ask for it to make our life easier instead of doing it again. Okay, thank you.
Cool. So these are different type of analysis we have done. And let me go back. We've already covered the elicitation techniques. Different type of meetings we have already covered. I wanted to cover some other meetings with you, which I've covered in Agile, but I realized that we have not talked about them in Waterfall. So give me 1 minute. Are you guys still seeing my Word document?
Yeah.
Yes.
So over here, you see these elicitation techniques. We had covered this in the last class. So pre-analysis and analysis. This analysis itself here can have all this information, different type of analysis here. Okay, these are all your tools to gather requirements and to create requirements document. Elicitation techniques, again, elicitation techniques is what? A way to collect information from your stakeholders. When you talk to your business stakeholders or when you talk to your technical stakeholders, how will you talk? You schedule a meeting, you'll create the mockups or wireframes for them, you'll send out meeting minutes, you will send out the surveys, you'll do the brainstorming session, working sessions, and all those things, right? These are different ways to gather information so that you can write business requirements document and user stories for your team members. And one of them is analysis here, and that analysis itself is broken into several different ways here. Cool. Before I jump to the next topic, I wanted to cover risk analysis first and stakeholder analysis, and then talk about the next topic. So risk analysis is, can someone tell me the biggest risk in stock market? What is the biggest risk in stock market?
Loss of money.
Loss of money.
market gets crashed.
Market crashing. Market, unpredictable market.
Volatile.
Unpredictable market. And things like that, right? So likewise, when you're working in the project, there would be unpredictable things that can just come in, right? So people usually call that in the office as unforeseen requirements or challenges that can come anytime when you're working on a new project, which is very unique, which no one in the company has any idea. For example, let's say we are a banking company and we want to start an e-commerce store, right, as a bank. Or take an example of Amazon, where Amazon is an e-commerce store, but they want to start their own banks now. So when they do that, there is an unforeseen challenge for them. Why? Because nobody in Amazon has knowledge about banking industry. So that knowledge itself is a challenge, is a risk, right? So whatever they build, they may build it right, they may build it wrong, who knows? So the knowledge itself is a risk. Another risk would be at a project level would be if your team is dependent on someone else's timelines. Like I can complete my product only if team B delivers their capability, and then only we can go live. That's a risk. There is a dependency, right? That's a risk, because if that person does not give you that thing in time, then your project is derailed. Am I right? So usually you talk about unforeseen requirements or challenges. You talk about the dependencies here. Then you talk about unforeseen challenges, requirements, dependencies. What are the additional risks? Resource risks, resources related risk. If you do not have team members, or if the all team members are already occupied, you don't have resources to support this release or support this product. So resources can always be a risk. So usually whenever you work on any company, you usually find this: knowledge, dependency, resource, or unforeseen challenges. Based on this risk, there will at least be one risk in every project from this combination. At least one risk in every project. And this risk will be found out by your project manager or scrum master. Okay. But again, I would not use this in the interview, risk analysis, just to make it easy on you. But if you happen to use this in the interview, then remember that you can talk about the risk as these 4 things: unforeseen challenges, knowledge, dependencies, and resources. There will definitely be 1 or 2 risks from this in every single project. Some resources are not available. There are some dependencies. People do not know how to operate. People do not know the product or the business itself. So this is always going to be there. And another risk is ever-changing requirements. Like people just don't settle up on the requirements. They keep changing their mind. They keep going back and forth and adding on things. So this is risk analysis. And I want to touch this topic, RSEI, and let me take a screenshot so that I can explain that to you all. RSEI is extremely simple in nature to understand, but it's extremely difficult to create. If you ask me what are your chances of creating RSEI in your office, I would probably say 0.1%. It's been 12 years for me, and I have worked with so many BAs, so many product owners and product managers. Not even a single person that I knew from like 500 or 600 people have created this RSEI matrix in their life. But it is important to understand that concept, what that is, right? And let me take a screenshot and share that with you all. So this is what RSEI is about. Super simple in nature. It's RSEI stands for responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. So when you're working with CEOs or directors, they are extremely picky about one thing, which is RSEI. So that's why they have project managers or scrum masters who are going to create these RSEI tasks. Can you all see this screenshot here? So what it says is there are several things that you have in your project, several tasks. Okay, task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4. For each task, responsible is the person. So I can define this for you here so it becomes easy. Responsible is the person who is going to perform the role, who is going to perform the job. Accountable is the person that sponsors your project and owns the entire product. Consulted are people keep other team members to consult from other team members. And last is informed. Informed is to keep all required team members. Status Progress. This is super simple. It doesn't matter whether you're in IT or not. You do this every day in your job, right? So basically, if someone comes and tells you, let's say you are staying in the society, and there is a watchman. Watchman is not available, or watchman is out of office today for some reason. He's not coming to the to your society to guard you all. Then someone comes and says, hey, why don't you just go ahead and do the job for him? And they say that to some homeowner. Would that person do that job? Nobody does that job, right?
No.
Watchman job needs to be replaced by a watchman, no one else. Correct? So likewise, there is always a resource gap in the office. Like there is always some team members who are not available. And what happens is people expect you to take up that responsibility. So you can take some responsibilities, but again, if I'm a product person, I cannot take up responsibilities for writing a code. I'll do a pathetic job on writing a code, and I'll probably crash the entire system, right? Likewise, technical team cannot take the responsibility of someone from the product side. Within technical team also, there are so many things that one needs to take care of, right? So this matrix is really important. So what you do is you do not write someone's name here. If you see, I have not mentioned anyone's name here. You write the role of that person. There could be one person performing multiple roles, or there could be multiple people in one role. It doesn't matter. You write the roles here, you write all the tasks here, and in this task, you fill in this RACI. So you see in every single row, we have RACI, every single row, right? So which means for this task, project manager is accountable or responsible. For this task, they need to consult business analyst and project executive. So project manager needs to work with business analyst and project executive to make sure project manager has everything that they need for. Because they need to get consultation from these two people. Otherwise, they will do a poor job of performing on this role. Likewise, technical team and application developer needs to be informed, right? And you have to notice that there could be only one A and one R in every row. Only one A and one R, but there could be several C and several I's. Why? Because if you have more than one accountable person, what happens if you have more than one prime minister in America? Chaos, right? In any country, not just in America. You need to have only one person who is accountable for the entire country, which is prime minister. You cannot have more than one prime minister at the same time. Likewise, in office, you cannot have more than one person who is ruling the entire project. So you can only have one person who is accountable, who is leading the entire project. And there is only one person who is going to finish or be responsible for this task. It could be possible that this person has to work with several other people to fulfill his task. That's completely fine. But this person is responsible to get this task completed, no matter what. He is the performer. This is the leader. This is the performer. And these are the people who are going to consult and inform, right? So there could be several C's and several I's. There could be several rows here. So I'm just seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 columns, but in reality, there could be 20 by 30 columns for 20 by 30 different roles in the company. And again, there will be only one A and one R in one row, and rest everything will be C and I. So the reason for creating this matrix is to make sure that we have these roles available when we start the project. That is why we do this in scope and vision document, project charter in the beginning. And another reason is we want to make sure that these people are available when we need them. So if I have said that business analyst is to be consulted here, and if business analyst comes back and says that I don't have bandwidth, I don't have time, then this person cannot fulfill his job properly, right? Then this guy, business analyst, can get in trouble. Why didn't you support this person to fulfill his responsibility? Or vice versa. But again, this is not needed. Chances are extremely, extremely low that you're going to create this, but you need to do this for your own sake. Every project that you're going to work on, you need to find out how many people are going to be part of this project, and who are these people, and what are their responsibilities. You need to find out this for every single project that you're going to work on. Right? So you don't create this in an official way like this. You just You just happen to create something on a piece of a paper and just keep it with you. Okay, so this is called RSEI. If someone asks you, how do you do stakeholder analysis? This is how you do the stakeholder analysis, by creating RSEI. Or you can say, I try to find out people who are responsible, people who are accountable, people who are consulted, and people who needs to be informed. That's how you perform RSEI. That's how you perform stakeholder analysis.
Question.
Yeah, go ahead, Amit.
So if this is not official, how do you hold people accountable or responsible? Or is
So-
there a high level?
I don't create this matrix. I did not say that you don't make people accountable. You do not create a documentation around that.
Oh, but
But you still, so when you do this analysis on the top here, when you find out who are involved and what are the responsibilities, you create that, you talk to them and you tell them, hey, this is what I understood. This is what your responsibilities are. Let me know if I'm wrong. I believe this is your role in the project, right? Oftentimes what happens is people try to perform each other's responsibility, and that produces negative results, and it affects team's harmony, because everyone thinks that, hey, I'm doing so much work. Why am I not getting credit? Right? So you don't create this document officially, but you still talk with these people and understand what is their role, and you tell them, you make them accountable. Hey, you said that you own the user experience. So if you own the user experience, I want to make sure I get your value. I get input from you before I move forward on the user experience finalization. Things like that, right? So this is stakeholder analysis. Cool. Any questions on this? I'll probably put one more chart here for your knowledge, so you can.
I have a question. So who designs this
Project.
chart? Okay.
And this is mostly in waterfall. Agile is no way close. And this happens above director or senior director level. I'll give you one really good screenshot here to associate a really good example of a company. So you see here, these are different roles now, right? And they have used more than one R and A, which is not a good idea. But I'm just taking this from Google, so I'm not really binding anyone to their release. But in offices, I've seen when people create this, they just have one R or one A, not more than that. But there could be multiple C's or multiple I's, right? So you have, this is phase wise. You have 5 different phases: initial phase, plan phase, execute phase, control phase, and close phase. Under each phase, these are the tasks you have. So under this task, who is accountable, who is consulted, and who needs to be informed? All the resources are on the top here. Again, you notice there is no one person's name mentioned here. It is not, this does not go by name. This goes by the role. Okay. For BRD, FRD, mockups, user journey, who is responsible? Business analyst. For writing user stories, who is responsible? Business analyst. For project charter, scope and vision document, market research. For project charter, project manager is responsible. For market research, competitive analysis, business experts are responsible for that. Testing, quality analysis team. Coding, development team. Architecture, tech lead. Just giving you an example, right? Who is responsible for what? Cool. That's the RSEI, and I actually had a topic that I forgot to cover. Before this, I was saying something. I forgot. Give me 1 minute. I have to go to Excel sheet. Yes, type of meetings. So I think we looked at all these meetings. I want to make sure you understood what are the relevant meetings we have in waterfall for the exact same reason, right? So in Agile world, you call wish list or brainstorming sessions is the meeting name. But in waterfall world, that is being called as business case review in the beginning, in the initial phase. Product backlog or prioritization meeting, this is called as scope review meeting in waterfall. Companies may use different labels, I'm trying to give you a very close label that can go with this. So you understand that in waterfall, these are the meetings being used. In agile, these are the set of meetings we use, right? Again, we discussed this very extensively in last class. Pre-grooming and grooming are called requirement gathering and requirements review session here. They're exactly same, no difference. The only difference is that over here you are reviewing a BRD, over here you are reviewing user story. That's it. That's the only difference. Knowledge transfer session, this is not, there is no direct correlation with this, but whatever you do in sprint planning, you assign hours here, right? The same thing you do here. In knowledge transfer session, you assign knowledge transfer, it's a long term triage. Knowledge transfer is not part of here. S2, S3, it is, there is no correlation, but it's just a separate line. This is like your daily job. After you write the BRD, you give knowledge transfer sessions to every single person involved in the company and tell them what this project is about. So in planning, in agile world, you say sprint planning, where you give number of development hours and number of quality analysis hours. In waterfall, there is something different than that. There is something called triaging. Triaging is like t-shirt sizing. What you do there is you say small, medium, large, extra large. You just rate the project like that. Hey, this project is probably large for me. This project is extra large. And there will be number of hours associated. Like we had number of hours associated for here for story points. For every single story point, we said less than 8 hours, or 3 is less than 3 days or something like that, right? For one resource. So triaging is something similar. In waterfall environment, when they organize this meeting, as opposed to assigning story points, they assign t-shirt size, which is small, medium, large, extra large, XXL, and there will be, every company has their own estimates for this. Some companies may say that small is less than 20 hours. Some companies may say that medium is less than 20 hours. It depends on the type of company you're working with and your team that you're working with. But this is how they will define the scope. Status meeting, same, which we have here as a daily stand-up. Over here, we have a status meeting. There is nothing like S2, S3 in waterfall. Defect or bugs review, that is called again defect review meeting. This can happen on need basis. And user acceptance testing, there is no formal meeting for this. I'm just saying that we schedule user acceptance testing. Sorry, this is demo session. So demo session, let me write it down. Demo session. This happens on need basis once the user acceptance testing is done. And retrospective session we do have in waterfall, but they do not call them as retrospective session. They just probably call that as something else. I have never witnessed this session in waterfall because it's a pretty lengthy cycle. Project ends after a year or a year and a half. By the time your project is ended, you're moved to another team. So technically, people do want to find out what went wrong, but they do not have any cadence to find out when and how. So we don't have any meetings there, but at the end of the project, you have some discussions, and that's about it. And last is knowledge transfer sessions. In knowledge transfer sessions, every single requirement that you have written, you will talk to developers and business analysts, developers, quality analyst, technical lead again and again for like 6 to 8 months in waterfall. So there is a direct correlation of every single meeting that we have in agile. It's just labeled differently and operates a little bit differently in waterfall than in agile. So I don't want you to get confused when you see this kind of, sometimes meetings are created with these names, triage or requirements review session or requirements gathering session. I want you to know when you're in the office, hey, when I see this title, this is the meaning. This is what we are doing in that meeting, right? So, any questions, guys? Again, these are, so if you guys have realized it now, the kind of information and the kind of due diligence that you need in waterfall and agile is exactly same. The difference is how you do the due diligence, right? How you operate in agile versus how you operate in waterfall. That is the difference. So you still create documentation, but not to a level where waterfall is creating. You still have these meetings, you still do the analysis, you still create the mockups, you still create the user journey. But in Agile, everything is working at the rapid pace. And for a smaller things. Whereas in waterfall, you do everything at once, and there is no time pressure in the beginning. As project starts coming to an end, there will be a pressure on in the waterfall environment, but not before that. Cool. Any questions, guys?
No.
All right. If no questions, I'll cover one more topic, and then I think I'll give you guys a break, and then we start the new project. New project is pretty exciting. You guys would really like that project, I'm pretty sure. And the reason you're going to like it is because you would have never imagined that this is the logic that goes behind it, but you all know that. So let me just cover one more topic quickly, and then we can actually start the new project. Yes, I want to cover this swim lane diagram. Can you all see my web browser right now? RSCI? Or you cannot?
Yes.
I'm doing a Google search right now for swim lane diagram. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you guys remember, we created the process flow for Uber and as is process flow and to be process flow for Uber. When we created that flow, this swim lane diagram is not at all different than process flow. The only difference here is that you try to find out. So in swim lane diagram, we were talking about passengers. In the process flow diagram, when we created in Uber, let me open that so you can really make more deeper connection with it. App.diagrams. Process flow. Can you all see the process flow now? Can you see my Visio?
Yeah.
Okay. So over here, what's happening? Customer starts the journey, and there is an interaction between a customer, between a driver. There is a payment gateway. For payment gateway, if you remember, we have a third party, right? So and fourth is Uber, because Uber is performing some steps here as well. So there are 4 different players: customer, driver, Uber as a company, and payment gateway. There are 4 different players here. From this process flow, is it possible for you to find out which action this box or this thing, these are actions, right? Everything that you see here is an action. Which action is taken by a driver or by the customer or by the Uber company or by the payment gateway? Is it easy to find out from here? It is not, right? Unless you read it really every single box, you will not be able to find out that. Or you have to color code every single box here. All the customer boxes, wherever customer is doing anything, I'll highlight them in green color. All the driver related boxes, I'll highlight in orange color. All the payment gateway thing, I'll highlight that in the customer card on file, payment process. I'll highlight that in the another color. Payment process. So so you can do this exact same thing that is done in swim lane diagram in this way, where you create a process flow and you color box them to understand that which action is taken by which player. There are 4 players, right? Again, Uber, payment gateway, and customer and driver. But again, if you have like green color here, orange color here, yellow color here, it is so difficult to navigate through this process flow, because as human, we can understand things easily when things are shown to us easily, right? So over here, when you are looking at this box, next thing is that you're seeing orange box, you'll get confused. So this exact same diagram can be represented in the way of swim lane diagram. Swim lane diagram is also called as cross-functional diagram. Swim lane diagram is also called as cross-functional diagram. Cross-functional is a word where you are intersecting with more than one team or more than one group. Then you say cross-functional. If you're just working within your team, then it is always called you're working for your team. But the moment you work outside of your team, like in our case, we work with marketing department, we work with legal department, we work with payment gateways like third-party providers, we work with companies like Wipro, Cognizant, TCS, right? So there are so many players involved in your project. So what you do when you create this kind of process flows, you create a specific swim lane for each of them. So if you see, again, this can be created like lanes could be horizontal or lanes could be vertical like this. Okay, but again, don't get confused by this jargon. It is extremely simple. All you are doing is, the reason they're called swim lane is because if you have seen any swimming competition or when you go to swimming pool, right, like the recreation centers, you see there are dedicated lanes for each swimmer, right? And the reason is because you want to give them the dedicated lane so they can be focused and they can swim faster and they do not have any obstacles in their way, right? Exact same concept. That is where this has been evolved from. So you have this different departments. So customer, sales, contracts, legal, and fulfillment. These are 5 different departments. So in this entire process, which action is taken by customer, which action is taken by sales rep, which action is taken by the contracts team, by legal team, and by fulfillment. So this entire process flow that you saw here is organized in this way. Exact same thing. There is not even one additional box here than what you see here. The only thing is they've done is that all the customer boxes will be in customer side, all the driver boxes will be in the driver's lane, all the payments gateway box will be in the payment gateway lane, and all the Uber's related boxes will be in Uber lane. That's it. And again, if you ask me how likely are the chances that you're going to create this swim lane diagram, I will probably say 1 to 2% from your 100%. Because these swim lane diagrams are created again before the project gets started. So today and tomorrow, whatever we are going to cover, this is all less, I would say less important. I'm not saying not important. So don't take me wrong here. I'm saying less important. So we still need to know these terms. But these are when you will start performing or working at office, whatever we are covering today and tomorrow, your role is a very, very small role for those things. Whatever we had covered until last week, that's your core 80% role. 80% of your time will be spent in that. Whatever we are covering today, and I'm going to today and tomorrow, and I'm going to share a couple of videos with you all for functional requirements document and the data mapping. Those things is like 3% or 4% of your role. And more than 90% companies have stopped creating functional requirements document now. They don't create that anymore because it's super extensive, too much time consuming. They don't have that much money to spend on that. But we still need to know what goes in that because we still have to ask those questions. So I'm going by format. I've covered the 80% of what your role should be. Today and tomorrow it's additional 10%, and I'm going to send you videos for additional 10%. And those 10% will make sense to you only and only if you have understood this 90%, just for your knowledge. Okay. So Swim lane diagram. Let's take one more example. Let me take this screenshot. So if someone asks you what is a swim lane diagram in the interview or in your company, don't get worried. Okay. You can just call me and I can tell you how to create that if you don't know that. But I can tell you how to create in Visio. If you're looking at Visio, when you go to File, you create New, you click on New here. Over here, there is an option to create swim lane diagram. Swim lane, swim lane. Yeah, on the top, you see this cross-functional flowchart on the top here. I just have to click on this and it will open up the entire flowchart for me. Create. And now all I have to do is start adding more boxes, copy, paste, start adding these boxes. Things will move from up and down and all those things will be easily done here. You can connect the arrow that can go to the end. You can connect the arrow here. It can go to the document. You can connect this arrow that can go back. This can go back to start. All these crazy things that you can do here, right? This is nothing different than process flow. So again, the only difference is that over here, you say this as cross-functional because the process flow that you have created, you represent that process flow as cross-functional. There are multiple functional teams around here in this project. What each team's role is, you clarified here. And this is mostly the job of a person who is managing the project in the beginning, because when they manage the project in the beginning, they want to find out what type of resources will be required for this project. So it is done at a higher level, but it can be an interview question. So I don't want you to be surprised when they ask you this in the interview, what is a swim lane diagram? Okay. Cool. I think I'll take a pause here, give you guys a few minutes break, and then we'll talk about the exciting stuff. Next project. Any questions before you go for the break?
I do.
Sorry.
Sorry, I'm a little bit confused.
You had a question, Sazia?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Your voice is breaking though. If I can understand, I can answer that. Or if you want to type in the chat, you can type it.
Okay, I'll type it.
And Amir, your question was, I don't know ADO. Should I learn it first before using Jira? As I said, don't worry about the tool, whether you use Jira. Oh, I think this was around 10 a.m. So I think I already answered that question, right? All you need to worry about is how to create a user story in ADO and how to create a user story in Jira. That's all you need to know. Everything else will be pre-created for you before you start your job.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Shaz, I'm waiting for your question. Then I think we can probably break for a few minutes. These diagrams are likely made before the project start. Okay, yes, these diagrams will be made before the project start. Okay. All right, guys, let's take a 5 minutes break and we'll start the new project after that. Hey, y'all, you there?
I'm here.
Cool. Everyone back?
Yes.
All right. Let's start the new project. It will be fun. As part of this one project, we're going to do three different projects within that. They're all similar in nature. So let me open the class notes again. The project name is lead routing. Okay. Before I introduce you to this concept, let me ask you a question. Assume that you guys own a call center. Okay. A call center for home loans. Call center for home loans. Okay. If you are the CEO of this company and someone asks you, hey, I want to make sure my calls are routed more efficiently, what would you do? What are the options you will give someone to make sure the calls are routed more efficiently, so that customer gets help in shorter time, and call is routed to the right person, so that the customer that person can help customer in like on the call? What would you do?
Create a software.
Create a software with what?
IVR.
Software with IVR. Okay.
Then for the IVR, I'll need a directory.
Just a second. So just for everyone's knowledge, IVR is interactive voice response. Whenever you call any 1-800 number, it says, hey, dial 1, dial 2, press 1, press 2. That is an IVR. It's interactive voice response. You need to create a directory. Okay.
And then with a lot of options that I will identify what my users need, what my customers need. Data analytics, what to create that, the call center, what is the purpose? Is it credit cards? So what do they want? They want bills. What is the purpose of the call center? That's what I'm going to identify with my users. Then, is it billing? Is it, buying a new card, getting a new card, reporting a lost card? I'm going to identify what do the people call in for and what's their first need. And accordingly, I'll give an hierarchy, but I can't have unlimited options. I'll identify what is a useful time period they want to spend on it before getting started. I don't want a bad name. Then I'll say,
Amir, please stop. We need to make sure everyone in the class gets a chance to participate.
okay, sorry.
So yeah. Anyone else has anything else to add? So this is the feedback for you, Amir. I think I've noticed this quite a few times. It's a really good brainstorming session. You really are excited always to participate in the brainstorming sessions. But when you are in the office, do make sure that once you start putting in 1 or 2 points, take a break.
Got it.
It's very important, because if you don't take break and if you just go on and on, people will have things to share with you in the meeting, but they will just hold off and they're just waiting now when you stop, and they will share their information. So that time is being lost because they're not listening to you after that.
Got it.
Right. And again, not a feedback for Amir, it's feedback for everyone. Just let me know. All right. Anyone else wants to add anything? Development hierarchy. What's next? You own your own call center. How would you make sure that calls are routed more efficiently and calls are routed to the right person. Anyone wants to add anything else? Okay, let's take a different example. Because I really want to make sure that you guys contribute in this one, because you are going to answer your own question right now. That I'm going.
Maybe I have a suggestion. Maybe if training the employees on the basic criteria of customer service. I don't know how to put it down.
Let's take another example, right? Let's say you have 25 chefs with different skills in an extremely busy restaurant. All orders are taken over the phone automatically, and this orders will be assigned to chef automatically. If this is the idea, okay, this is the idea, that 25 chefs with different skills in an extremely busy restaurant, all orders are taken over the phone automatically, and these orders will be assigned to chef automatically. If you are the owner of this restaurant, of this virtual restaurant, I'm calling it virtual because everything is happening over the phone. How would you make sure before you test, you want to go into the market, right? You will not get customers' feedback before going into the market. So when you want to go to the market, how would you create this phone line for your customers so that it becomes easy for them to place order?
So when the customer calls, we can categorize, by 1, 2, and 3. Okay, you want to place an Italian order, Indian order, American, so that way that's the button that they click.
Okay. What's next?
And once the order has been placed, let's say they put something Indian, and if we have an Indian chef, there should be a connection between the chef and the order so that it reaches that Indian chef. And that's my understanding.
Between chef and the order. Okay.
So there will be a redirection and a queue kind of a thing. So if the order is Indian, it'll directly go to the Indian chef. If it's Asian, then it'll go to the Asian.
Yeah.
So there will be queues assigned for the different categories of order.
Awesome. What's next?
There, how to address special requests, so there should be a way to address that, like special dietary restrictions or needs, those kind of things.
I say make sure the staff availability, how many people are working to create that order.
Staffing. Sorry, what was the staffing?
Staffing or staff availability.
Oh, staffing resources.
Resources, yes, staff resources.
Hey, Amir, I did not mean to discourage you. You can very well participate. All I was asking was, let's take a pause after sharing a couple of points. Anything else?
And
I'm letting others participate.
like certain dishes are like out of stock or whatever you want to call it. Like they're not available at the time. There should be a way to like update that in their system, I guess. So they don't place an order for something that's not available. Yeah.
Okay, what's next? These are excellent points, guys. You will be surprised that what we contributed.
Sorry, I don't know if it can be added. Like if you are having a high call volume for your business, you make sure that you're capable of providing the demand or the need. So how can you put that in there?
So it could
That's my
be
job. Don't worry. I'm just collecting your thoughts right now. I'll put together a really good summary from this.
So to follow up on Shazia's point, based on when, I mean, going back to your analysis, right? So we can figure out which days are the high call volume days. If it's a weekend,
Right,
right? So it could be,
right.
you know, today it's a pizza day. We are going to receive a lot of orders for pizza. So let's have a they're already prepared. They already have it in stock, kind of a thing, you know? So
Well, you just made me hungry by saying today's a pizza day.
On that note, some restaurants even offer peak hours, specials like from 4 to 6 or something.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. You're
Yes.
right.
So
Okay,
that
so
is the time that customers can order, and it should be a way that's there on the automated service that, okay, this is our special, this is our peak hour and you will get that benefit.
peak hours.
That should be in the automated, like when they are calling, it should be
Hours
mentioned in the calling.
routing based on peak hours. What's next?
Okay, if they should be told the wait time to place the order based on the interacting software.
No.
Inform
And-
customers about wait time. Okay.
And obviously, if the lines are too busy, they should get the option of us calling them back, but by telling them it'll take so many minutes based on average number, the average minutes.
Okay.
I'll add one more and I'll let others jump. There should be a path to payment, because you don't take orders without payment unless that.
Oh, make payment over the phone.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I have a question for you, James, over here. I wanted to know, I mean, all these orders are placed. Now, are these delivery orders or pickup orders? Are we going through Uber Eats, Grubhub, or how are we doing this? Because you didn't mention it in the statement over there.
Delivery orders versus, you said pickup orders?
Yeah, whether it's a delivery or
Versus-
pickup.
Grubhub kind of order.
Uber Eats.
Okay. Oh, so you're asking me a question right now?
Yes, I was asking you because in
Okay.
the statement you didn't mention that whether it's a pickup or it's a delivery that we are doing.
Yeah, I still don't have
Because
an
the
answer
food
to
they're
that.
placing, but how are they going to?
It's a great question. It's a great question. I still don't have an answer to that. But I'm glad that you mentioned this, because this is part of this. This is an important part of this statement that was missing here, and I'm glad you brought up that. And I'll answer all these things in a few minutes. So I don't have an answer to this right away, but I'm just wait for a few minutes. Submit. I'll answer you that. What's next?
The time duration between when the order has been placed and the pickup time or the delivery time, because that is something the customer needs to know.
And time duration between order placed and
The pickup time or the delivery time. Like we are usually told, okay, your order will be delivered by this time, or the pickup time is this.
what's next? Shrey, I'm not hearing you. Abdul,
Yeah, I'm just listening.
Yes.
what else? Done?
No. Another point would be like, let's say if you place an order through Uber Eats or Grubhub, that's from the customer's viewpoint. I'm just thinking, how is the customer supposed to get back to the company and say, hey, I haven't received my order? There should be a way, a platform that can, I mean, would you call again? Is there because it's everything you're telling me is through virtual, so how are you going to just connect?
You guys are missing one important point here.
Yes. They need access to a customer service button.
Yes.
In case they have a problem.
Yes.
Second,
There is one more. Yep. Customer service button. I got it.
Secondly, if the menu is too long, nobody's going to wait 2 hours and listen to your menu. It should say that the menu is also available online on our website if you want to save time. And then that menu should be connected with numbers to the online saying, press the number and we'll, then all those points. Just to make it convenient, to cut down on time, to make it a very nice experience for the customer that I can choose menu item 5, 10, 15. And for categories, we can have alphabets. But I can go on and on, but I think I'll let the others jump in.
Mhm.
No, this is a great point, actually.
There was one more thing. So we said when you set up the queues, right? Queues, you think we can set up queues based on city and state? It's a phone number. Anybody can order any from anywhere, right? What areas we are serving, what cities we are serving, and based on that, that order needs to be queued up. Correct?
Yeah, that's what you call the footprint.
Footprint. Yes. Mhm. I think this is a really good collaboration. I'll do the exact same exercise one more time for Uber, and then we're going to do this for mortgage. And I'll actually show you, you'll be surprised with the amount of knowledge you have on this project. Okay. The best way to learn anything about any product in IT is to become a customer.
So we are missing the address if it's delivery.
Yeah.
Address, like address in collect address over the phone.
Yes, if it's delivery.
Yep.
And with that, we can make a very nice customer experience and say we don't serve that address
Yep, we can very well say that.
instead
Let's
of.
take
How about the quality assurance in
Feedback.
this? Feedback. To implement better hall experience.
let's take one real example now. Exact same question. I'm phrasing this question in a different way now. Okay. Exact same question for a different product. 250 drivers are available in the city of Dallas with different ratings. All rides are booked by passengers online automatically, such that drivers get assigned to a ride automatically as well. Just making up a case study for you guys, okay? We've still not started the real project. After this answer, we're going to start the real project. Cool. I want you guys to help me understand from this 18 points, what are the valid points here? And help me understand why. Place an order based on category.
So it will be book a ride based on category.
Based on category. What is category here?
Like if you taking a pet with you. Or
Awesome.
if you-
Now you're talking. Yes. So car. So there is a car and
Vehicle type.
vehicle type and ride type
Type and description.
And right time.
and ride type. Correct?
Yeah.
Everything in blue is the Uber concept there. Connection between chef and the order.
There's
between
one more
driver and
category.
customer.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir, there's one more category.
What is that? Vehicle type, then which category?
And then you need, are you booking one for in advance or do you need one now?
So wouldn't that be part of right type? No, right type would be mostly talking about number of passengers.
Oh, I thought right.
Passengers. So I think this will be passenger type
Yes.
and right type.
So in the right type
Yes.
too,
Yes.
if somebody has a little baby and they forgot to bring the car seat, do they provide a car seat, the Uber driver?
Yeah, that's why vehicle type, passenger type, and right type. So
Okay.
I had done this research on my own. I don't know how it works in all the states, but if you are in a taxi ride, sometimes it's okay if you don't have your car seat. And if you have car seat, it is still okay that your car seat should not be tied to a seat belt in the car. You can just hold that car seat because you are in a cab. I don't remember exactly. I think I searched for this like a year ago, but there are some rules and regulations around that. But again, we are not going to define the exact requirements right now. I'm trying to make you aware about the concept, right? So vehicle type, passenger type, and right type. That is the place and order based on category fits in here. What's next? Connection between chef and the order. Connection between passenger
Driver
and
and
driver.
customer.
Passenger and driver.
Yep.
What's next? Set up a queue. Do we need this?
Yes.
For Uber, the driver selects, right? The driver has the option. So I don't know if we can set up a queue.
So let's say you have 5 drivers around you, and there are 50 passengers requested for a ride. Correct? From these 5 drivers, which ride should go to which driver first?
But also driver gets a queue too. Like if
Yes,
he's
there
doing
has
a
to be a
ride
queue.
and if
There
he's
has to
doing
be
a
a
ride
queue.
and he also gets a ride in advance,
Yep.
already booked for like
So-
if he's going to AT&T Stadium and there's a ride waiting for him already.
So there has to be a queue, right? So the difference
And
is
also, sorry, the number of the passenger can be accommodated in the car?
Yes, that's the passenger type.
Okay.
So queue is, so Nisha, when we say queue is not something which means that there will be some kind of time delay. You could still be putting a lead in queue and being served in like fraction of seconds. Queue does not mean that you have to wait in line. Queue is
Okay.
something you are creating a line of something, and that line can be finished as soon as like fraction of seconds, or could be a few days, or could be a few months.
Oh, okay.
Right? Just I felt that that's where the confusion was.
Yeah.
So when we say
Oh.
queue is just a line. Set up
Okay.
a queue or a line of a request.
Okay.
And over here, so there are a couple of things happening, right? One passenger can request rides, can send request to multiple drivers is a better word, and one driver can receive requests from multiple passengers. Correct? Is this a fair statement?
Yep.
When you set up the queue, this is what you need to find out. Way to address special request. Applicable here.
Yes.
So in Uber, what they do is when you're picking up someone from an airport, I'm just talking about some examples that I know. I'm not an Uber expert. You have a way to put in your terminal number. So any additional instruction or landmark that you can provide that helps Uber driver finds, you can probably put that information there. So I will say additional landmark or terminal number or additional notes if you want to provide. There should be a way for that. Correct?
Can I add something?
Yeah.
For handicapped people, you might need that instructions.
Yes.
For
For
people-
passenger type. That's passenger type, right? If passenger type is physically challenged or a person, then there will be additional instructions needed for that person.
And again, suitcases, where would they fit in? If you have lots of
Luggage, right? Well, again, passenger type. In my mind, that all belongs to passenger type.
All right.
Right.
And so these are the questions all the questions that you're asking, right? These are extremely legitimate and valid questions. The only thing I would say about these questions is when you're writing the business requirements document or user stories, they all will become part of that. Every single thing that you guys just mentioned, we need to explicitly write requirements on that. What we are looking at right now is how the concept works, right? So I'm not going into too much of lower level details right now. But when you are writing a user story, these are the exact questions you need to answer. I'm trying to make you aware about the concept first. So resources over here, which are the resources we're talking about? Drivers and passengers, of course. Menu item is not available. Driver is not available. So driver's availability, correct? Am I right?
Yes.
High call volume, surge time. Do you all know what is surge time in Uber?
Pay more.
Sorry?
You pay more time.
Yes, you pay more. In surge time, you pay more. When there is high volume, high demand, you pay more. Surge time and peak hours goes together. Because the high demand in Uber is during peak hours, right? So surge time and peak hours goes hand in hand. Inform customers about wait time. Valid requirement. Valid requirement. Are we good?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Lines too busy, then provide a callback option. This is like exceptional scenarios, exceptions. When no drivers are available, then try again after some time. Make payment over the phone. Make payment through app. Orders placed, delivery orders via pick orders versus Grub. This is lead channel, which is Google, Facebook, Twitter, some other promotions. So based on the promotions that you have chosen or you have signed up from, you will get a specific price for your first ride or ride after that, right? Some kind of promotions or some kind of channels from where the users are coming you to manage that. So lead channel and lead state or city. I think we already covered city and state above, so that should be fine. You don't need it here. Time duration between order placed and the pickup or delivery time. This is more like driver's arrival time. A way to communicate or serve when customers are facing challenges. Uber's customer service line. Access to customer service button, same as Uber customer service line. Menu is too long. If the options are too many, what would you do? Show the relevant option to the users first, right? If there are too many ride options, show only most popular options first.
Do you
Make
mean
sense?
by most popular by best rated?
We can define the way we want it to be, best rated or probably most convenient option that customers are using, or based on the passenger type that you have chosen, or based on the ride type that you have chosen. There could be multiple ways. So it's very hard to define that. That is the question that you need to talk to our business owner and ask him, hey, what do you mean by most popular? And he will give you a definition there. Collect address over the phone for delivery. This is from and to address using current location functionality within the app. Correct? quality assurance and feedback, of course. You can leave feedback or leave complaints in Uber service, right? So contact us form or complaint form. This is what I was trying to get at when I asked this question before about the lead routing here. I think you guys were not able to share your thoughts, but this is exactly now, if I change this business. So what we did here, this was a restaurant business. From this restaurant business, we moved it to the marketplace, which is Uber is a marketplace of passengers and drivers, right? This is a business for that. If I change this use case to a credit card business now, which is where the Amir was going, then exact same thing is going to apply. Do you guys agree? Very similar thought process.
Yes.
Yes, the thought process is same.
Thought process is the same. And now we're going to cover this exact same thing for the fourth option, which is mortgage. The project that we did in,
Can I add something, please?
go ahead.
We don't have an option for cross-sell. That's what most businesses are interested in.
Options for
Cross-selling.
cross-selling.
Like advertisement within the app.
We can do that. So I'll just put cross-selling. I don't know how we're going to use this, but there are numerous ways. Again, our goal is to not get specific and understand the entire Uber's business. Our goal is to understand this concept of routing, right? So when you switch, if I would have said this statement in the first class, you guys would have thought I'm just bullshitting. Now let me give you a proper understanding of a business analysis. I think you guys have asked this question so many times that, hey, I do not know anything about the product. How am I going to get the requirements, right? The best way to understand any product is to become a customer of your own. So what we did here, as a customer, what are you expecting? Businesses are filling those needs for you. It's not the other way around, that businesses are coming up with process and customers are using it. It's the other way around. Customers needs a process and businesses are filling in that process. Customer has a need, businesses are filling in that need, right? So when I said that you guys, when you use mobile applications, you just don't know how much you know in IT, especially for these two roles, business analyst and product owner roles. You know a lot that you can't even imagine. It's just that you don't know how to correlate your existing knowledge with the core IT project. That's the difference. And I want to make sure that from this class, you get that idea how to connect those two things, right? Those two dots are very important to be connected. So to run a business, what are you looking for? Businesses are always looking for money, profit. How can I generate more profit? Spend less money. Am I right? If you are a business owner, wouldn't that be your wish? How can I spend less money, spend less time, and still make more profit? Do you think that's a valid ask? Do customers really care about that? Do customers really give a damn about it? No, right? No, right? So in this process, when we create the product, when we create the routing, we just don't have to balance business goals. We also have to balance customer goals. And then there will be third area, which is drivers are a crucial part, right? Drivers are a crucial part in this entire project of routing. So we also have to understand drivers' goals. So we have to create a soft corner, which is a best intersection of product goals, business goals, customer goals, and your driver's goals. And then what comes in as a common part, of course, after intersecting all these four different circles, that is what going to drive your business. So what are customer goals? They want convenience, right? They want convenience. They want fast service. They want service for cheap price.
Cheap price.
Am I right? And
Yep.
Safety, cheap price. So let's write this down. So first we said our first role was business goals. Business goals are pretty obvious. Any business that you talk about, they will write this big documents, like 100 pages long documents, but it is going to boil down to only few things. Spend less time and money and make more profit. Everything that you're going to do in the company, whether it's a $1 billion company or whether it's a $1 trillion company, it boils down to this one line. What are the customer goals? Now, it doesn't matter what type of customer you are or what product you are using. These are your always going to be the common goals. Convenience, cheaper, and faster.
Can I ask? Sorry, do we have ratings in there somewhere? Ratings?
Reliable is part of that, right? Reliability
Where-
is part of the ratings.
No. Now the checklist, 19 points.
So we can make that as part of it if it is not there.
Sorry about that.
That's fine. So this is exactly how it works in the company, guys. So if you guys see, I was talking about this right now. Amir was trying to multitask and assuming that, have I forgotten anything here? Right? This is exactly what happens in the company. When you start talking about some other topic, when you switch from topic 1 to topic 2, you think that you've switched from topic, but people have not switched topics in their mind. So when someone brings up questions like this and wants to go to the previous topic, as a meeting driver, you need to take a pause. Hey, is there anything else you want me to add here before I go to the next topic? You want to make sure that person has lost the connection of the previous topic now because we're going to start a new topic. So the moment you witness anything like this in the office, take a pause. Hey, let's go back. I want to make sure before we start a new topic, we cover all the questions that we have for this one. Are we all good? Yes. Okay. Let's go to the next topic then. Right. Just an idea. I just thought to share this as it came up. So business goals, customer goals. What are the driver goals? What are the driver goals here?
Make more money in less time.
Make more money in less time. Not very different.
I mean, be productive. Be productive. So
Short rides. I mean, not too many long rides.
Not too many long rides. Yes. So you guys, I don't know if this is still true or not, but Uber does not show the destination. When you book a ride, Uber does not show the destination. Because
it's
were
not
cherry-picking
too many
rides.
long. Too long rides can be also profitable. It's not that.
It can be profitable only one way.
So be
No.
in,
No, that's
Just
not
to
true.
say, isn't why drivers actually cancel the rides if you have a short trip?
Yeah,
I
you
don't
can
think-
cancel it.
I don't think they can cancel. I've never been part of Uber as a driver, so I don't know. I'm just speculating things right now, right? As we are talking.
I think they do. They cancel the ride if they have to go really short
It's
distance.
absolutely possible that longer rides can be profitable and drivers can cancel the ride. That's not a problem. But I think I remember in Uber's case study, there was a point made where Uber's driver were very disappointed with the Uber application, Uber app in its own. And the reason was that they couldn't see the driver's destination. I don't know if things have changed in last few years or not. And the reason was Uber was not showing customers' destination is because drivers were cherry picking their rides for this exact reason: make more money in less time. Right? So they want to make sure that if I'm going to that location, will I get a ride back from that location or not? I don't know. If I have to drop someone to airport, I'm very likely going to get a ride back. But if I have to drop off someone in some remote area, am I going to get a ride back from that area or not? If not, then I have to drive back on my own. There will be no customers with me, and I have to just bear the cost for the fuel and my time. So drivers are cherry picking the rides. So Uber had put this logic where they cannot see the destination. And of course, they have some other logic behind it, but they had made something around that. So these are 3 different goals. What are the product goals here?
I have an input. I'm on the same page. Driver, I think if I was a driver, I would choose an area where I turn myself app on, because that's when Uber can connect to you. Where in a city where there's a lot of rides, so if I'm living in a suburb and I turn my app on, I might wait a long time. Similarly, Similarly, I might want to turn my app on, keep it on when there's a search time. I might want to look up for search times so that way I can make more money. So those might be the driver goals. A subcategory of make more money in less time would be in a hide area when you turn your app on, and be available when there's a surge on. You don't want to be unavailable, which is morning.
That's part of the less time. Yes, less time
Yes.
and more money.
Yes.
Part of it. High demand area. That's correct.
I was just driving Uber driver as in driver. So I think they're way more advanced, and like they know this stuff that that people would do that, like going to the busy area and turn it on. They will still give you a ride 20 miles away from there
Yeah,
because they give you preference according to who is actually being online from past few hours, not
now
like
you're
turning
talking,
off.
Shri. That's exactly the reason of this exercise. That's exactly what we're going to cover. So
Because they have data analysts, during when they start this app, they've been through all this.
So what you just said is this statement. Product goal. Product is Uber's mobile application. When you create an Uber mobile application, what is the goal for that? To create the best balance between these three things. To make sure that all of them are happy. Not 100%, but to a level where they will keep coming back to your app and do this business again. This is the business strategy. When you create products, when you create mobile application, this is the mindset you have, right? And what you just said, Shrey, I'll show you that for the digital mortgage project, how that concept is used, where you have someone waiting for the ride for last 2 hours, and what happens. I'll give you one example of Uber. I had planned for a surprise baby shower for my wife, and I was doing all the decoration at one of the hall that we booked, and suddenly my car just did not work. Like it just does not turn on. This was a few years ago, and I think everyone was invited at 6:30. It was already at 6 o'clock. I just had to go back home and get ready, and come back. And my wife was planning to come around 7 p.m. with her family. So I just had an hour, and hall was like 30 minutes away from from my house. So my car just doesn't happen to turn on for some reason. So now my problem was I booked Uber ride so that I can reach home, and I can get ready and I can come back home quickly. I can get back to the hall quickly. So I booked an Uber ride, but that location, I knew that when I drove to that location, it was very difficult to find that location. Like you go in circles, but you don't happen to find that exact spot. So I booked an Uber ride, and driver made me wait for 15 minutes, and he canceled the ride on me because he couldn't find me. I booked another ride, and another ride got canceled in like 20 minutes or 25 minutes. So at 6:45, I'm in my pajamas, and people are walking into the hall, and they're seeing me there, and they're like, "Oh, who's this guy?" So two drivers canceled ride on me. Okay. Third time, I did not book Uber. I called one of my friend. I said, "Hey, just come here, dude. I need some help." And I think I took his car. I went back home, and I got ready, and I came back. By the time I reached there, like it was about 8:30. So it was like almost a time for the dinner, and people were about to leave, and without food because food was all in my at my house that I had to take it there. So because of this Uber ride, I wasted my 45 crucial minutes of my event. Right? If you ask my review for Uber, I'll give pathetic reviews for Uber. If you cannot find a location in Uber app, you should not even let me book that ride. If you are saying that, hey, I'm booking ride, I'll just come by nearby and then I'll find you. I don't want that kind of experience. Just imagine if it is a night time and you are in a scary area, and if this happens, like you're waiting for 45 minutes, how much scared you are. So there are still ways where Uber can improve on the address accuracy and how things can be delivered, right? So bottom line is, when we create any mobile application or any online app or any online portal, Or matter of fact, let's not even talk about online app or online portal. Even if you're starting any new business, like a brick and mortar business, like a Walmart kind of store or a gas station or anything like that, right? You always want to find balance of all these things. Otherwise, your business will just never run. So over here, there are drivers. So the first preference is always given to customer. Second preference will be given to drivers' goals, because if they're not happy, customers will not get served. And if customers are not happy, they're not going to request for the rights. So customers are the first. Any industry, customers are the ultimate CEOs of the company. If they stop using your product, you are done with the business, right? And then you give priority to business goals. But you still have to strike the balance in between them so that it does not happen that you are completely just losing money, and there is nothing in for you as a business owner. Then it just demotivates you. You will be out of business in a year or two, unless you just want to make it a non-profitable company, right? So when you create product, you want to find the best balance between them. And you can understand that without even being part of any business. All it takes is customer's point of view, what customer is looking for. Customer is looking for convenience, cheaper and faster and reliable options. How could you make this happen? These are the additional points to that, right? And now we're actually going to start our actual project. But I think this background is going to help you a lot to understand the new project that we're going to cover. Okay. And this can be true for airlines. This can be true for insurance company. This can be true for any and all company in the world. Every single company has to have a logic for routing leads. Are you with me so far?
So thinking about your problem, I think Uber should add, button there for drivers to call if they're lost before canceling.
Yeah, I was not even looking to cancel the ride, right? Because I wanted to make sure I don't miss my event. And
The driver canceled on, but Uber should make it mandatory for.
Yeah, they cannot cancel the ride on customers like that.
Yes,
right?
they
cannot.
You should tell the driver this one is you call the customer, and then if you find the place, then you can cancel it.
There could be a lot of ways to solve that, right? And like Shrey being part of that journey, he would kind of feel that, hey, if I'm not able to find you for 15 minutes, why should I waste my time? Right?
Yeah,
his point of view is right.
Yeah, if I'm
His point of view
working
is
as
not
an
wrong.
Uber driver, they're
Yeah.
not paying that much, and I was like,
Exactly.
if I cannot cancel the ride, I was like, you know what, I leave this job, quit.
Yes, that's where the balance comes in. That's where the balance comes in, right? And the right protocols, right business rules. You want to put all those rules properly so that you are able to talk through these things and do things nicely. But again, our goal is to not optimize Uber's model. They are more successful than what we can think about. So let's switch the attention to our actual project now. Now, having this knowledge, it should be super easy for you to digest this information. Okay. So in mortgage world, what happens is, let's go to Bank of America one more time to show you what we're going to talk about right now. So you see, Bank of America, whenever you want to apply now, they ask you 3 questions. Those 3 questions are, hey, are you applying for a loan? Sorry, are you applying for a loan for first time, or this is a refinance? That's the question they're asking. Second question is that they're asking is, are you a Bank of America's customer already? And third is whether you're ready to sign the contract in the next 60 days or not. Okay. So over here, let's go back. This is for refinance. An exact same thing. When I click on apply now, exact same contact form will come up. So first, this contact form I got after clicking on mortgage, apply now. Now I've clicked on refinance and I clicked on apply now. I'm asking this, they're asking me the same question. I want to buy a home. I am ready to sign a contract. I am an existing Bank of America's customer. If I'm existing customer, they're asking me to put in my user ID and password. I'll say no, I'll move forward to continue. And I get this exact same form. So if you see whether I'm applying for a purchase, whether I'm applying for mortgage is purchase, mortgage or refinance, I'm seeing the exact same form here. Correct? I see the exact same form. So whatever we discussed right now, we discussed two different scenarios for routing. One is the call routing, and second is routing in real time on your phone, like Uber example, right? This is a third way of routing leads. This third way is online leads. Like when customer submits this form online and someone has to get back to this customer. In this case, it will be loan officer because you're applying for a mortgage. So instead of drivers, there will be loan officers, correct? So these loan officers have to get back to this customer in time. So just imagine Bank of America is a pretty big bank. They must be getting like 10,000 applications every day. So they have to go back to 10,000 customers. Again, the same question comes in. Spend less time, make more money and faster. And customers always looks for cheaper rate, cheaper mortgage interest rate if possible, right? And convenience. So how would you create routing logic for this particular product? It's a pretty big routing logic, just for your knowledge. So what we did was we created a customer portal, online portal. First of all, do not use the word website in your interview. Always say it as online portal. Online portal we created for mortgage application, right? On the online. That mortgage application, there is another project within that. Once someone submits this form, this information needs to go to the loan officer directly. So this is how the project gets started. Bank of America started their business and started the business at a small level where they did not have this automatic routing in place. So they used to get like 50 or 60 odd leads every day. There was a person who would look at these leads, put this information in an Excel sheet and assign these leads to a loan officer in an email. Hey, this 3 leads assigned to you, this 3 leads assigned to you, this lead assigned to you. So that person in the middle is using his brain or her brain to route leads properly to loan officers based on the time that lead has come through. And this is a daily process. Every day we get 60 leads. At the end of the day, we send information to the loan officers in an email. Hey, go ahead and talk to these customers tomorrow. So there is 1 day delay at a minimum, correct? We were not able to get back to the customer right in time. So there was 1 day delay. Second pain point here is someone is doing this manually. What if instead of 60, there are 600 leads? Suddenly, because of some promotion, it just boomed. And instead of 60, you received 600 leads. Now that person has a limitation. If I'm the person, I can only handle 60 jobs or routing of 60 jobs a day, 60 leads a day. Now my work is increased by 10 times. How would I fit in that? I will create a backlog. I will do only 60 for 10 days, which means my 600 will be compiled every 10 days and I'm still running behind no matter what I do. Second pain point. Third pain point. I'm trying to walk you through why do we need to do this project first, right? Why and what are we doing? Third pain point is all the loan officers make money on commissions, on commission based, right? This is our commission based business. So if I have a reputation or repo with some loan officers, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put higher loan amount to that person, so that when that person submits closes the loan, I also get some commission under the table from that guy. Fair deal? So there could be biasedness in routing process here. That biasness is manual. I could piggyback, or I could really choose who I want to send these leads to. If I don't gel with one person, I will not send good leads to that person no matter what, because after all, I'm human, right? I have emotions. So I'm wired in a different way. I like certain people, I'll try to help them. If I don't like someone, I'll try to make their life hell. So there is a lot of biasness in between. So there are three things that we're trying to solve for. Remove this biasness, remove the delay because customer gets notified in after a day. And third is, how can loan officer gets equal opportunity to get back to the customer in time and really convert that lead. And fourth is additional point where we need to remove this manual intervention in between so that we are set up for scalability. What if we are running more marketing campaigns and that 600 becomes 6,000? We need 10 more people. Are you kidding me? Are we going to pay 10 more people just to route the leads in right way? Right. So four key things that we're trying to solve for. Remove the delay so that we can get back to customers in time. Remove the delay. Remove the biasness from the routing logic. Then equal opportunity for loan officers. And fourth one was, I forgot. Let me write this down. Pain points. Pain points is remove the delay, contact customer, remove the biasness, provide equal opportunity to loan officers, set up for scalability. This was the missing one. Make sense? So these are our, this is why and what. What are we doing? This is why. What are we doing? What is automate this entire process? Who is going to use this product? Loan officers and customers, correct? When do we need this? We don't know yet. How long it is going to take. Probably they will say in few months. How are we going to do it? This entire discussion is about that. Okay. So what are we going to do here now? Exact same logic that we have discussed 3 times already. I'm going to walk you through now. It is extremely simple for you to understand this. So there are 3 different concepts. When you want to route any specific lead to the right person, there are 3 specific, there are 3 high level steps in that. Those 3 steps are lead segregation, lead prioritization, and lead assignment. Again, those 3 steps are lead, project background. So the solution is, I'm quickly creating this in front of you so that you understand how to write this thing. So solution is to automate this entire process by putting in place a logic for lead segregation, lead prioritization, and lead assignment. This is the solution. And now I'll walk you through what it means. So lead segregation is like dividing leads first. So you can divide leads based on lead source, whether it is coming from Google, Facebook, or some other marketing campaign, or you can divide them based on city or state. So these are the only 2 options we have: lead source or channel. Because you first want to, you're trying to narrow down your scope, right? So you'll start from the top. Hey, there are like so many states and there are so many lead channels that we have. Let's create queues, the queues that you're talking about, right? Let's create virtual queues based on city, state, or based on the lead channel. So you will try to create these queues here. So for our class purpose, I've created 6 queues: Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5, and Q6. Okay. So Q1 is for Texas, Q2 is for Florida, Q3 is for Chicago, Q4 is for others, Q5 is for California, and Q6 is overflow. Okay. Now again, I'm choosing this because this makes more sense for a mortgage project. Sometimes they do choose this option. If they can combine here, Texas and Google, Texas and Facebook, or Texas or Facebook, or Texas or Google can all go to Q1. They can do this if they want to. Right? There are numerous permutation and combinations that they can put in if, based on business logic. And this logic will be created by business owner, not by you. This tool will be created by a developer. You are the person in between who is going to understand what business team is looking for, what kind of logic they want to create, and then articulate that in the requirements document with the help of BRD or write user stories, and then someone is going to code that. That's what your role is in between, to create the document and understand this process. So when you create these queues, 6 different queues, so what you've done is you've segregated leads. So I said other because I said Texas is Q1 because I got a lot of leads from Texas. As a business, I have data that I get like 5,000 leads from Texas, 2,000 from Florida, 1,000 from Chicago, and from all of the states, I just get 1,000 more leads. So which means it makes more sense for me to work on high potential customers first. So if I get 5,000 leads from Texas, I'll be focusing my energy on that first. I would make sure that I don't want to compromise my presence in Texas. Any reputation, any compromise to my reputation in Texas will hurt my business, right? So I have 6 different queues here. Based on my data, I'll create them. Again, for this class, we're assuming state-based segregation. Once you do this, the next step comes in the picture is lead prioritization. This is the question where Shrey said, hey, like I don't want to take that ride or take that passenger because that it just doesn't make sense for me to take up that ride. I'm not going to make money on it. But as an Uber, as a company, you can't let that customer get disappointed, because that one customer is going to put a bad review and it is going to hurt your business, right? So there has to be a fallback logic where driver is also happy and you're also happy. So how could you make that happen? This is the prioritization process around that. So what we are saying in mortgage world, our category, like we had ride categories, over here we had product categories. It's 30-year fixed, 15-year fixed, 5-1 arm, 7-1 arm, right? Are you with me? Are you all with me?
Yeah. Yes.
So these product categories. So I am saying that this, how would I set up the prioritization? I know based on my data that 30-year fixed is the most popular product in my company. I absolutely want to make sure if I get this lead, I'll get back to this customer in time, because I know that this customer is a very high potential customer and we'll be able to convert this lead to a customer, right? So I want to give this as a first priority. But what if I have like 100 leads with 30-year fixed? Then what is the second priority? Well, I'll look at the submission time. If I've got a lead at 101, then I'll take that lead first, followed by 102, followed by 103, right? So I'm using timestamp, type of product. Third is I'm giving, like, even if I match this timestamp and type of product within fraction of seconds, or sometimes within just few minutes, you'll get hundreds of leads. When your campaign goes viral, you just start seeing like so many leads are coming in. Now, whom should I give the priority? Okay, let's talk about the zip code. Which zip code in Texas is really favorable to the business? Let's use that zip code first. So you first prioritize based on this, then second, then third. You are creating the hierarchy if you see here. Then fourth is, hey, if there is a zip code tally, then how could we break that tally? We will use a loan amount. If loan amount is less than $417,000, I know that this customer is going to really convert with our company. And I actually went the other way around. It's not from bottom to top, it's from top to bottom. And the last one is the purchase or refinance or home equity. Which lead we are getting? Purchase should always get the first priority in Texas. Whereas in Florida, refinance should get the first priority because most of our customers are coming from Florida who are requesting for a refinance loan. So you put this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different prioritization hierarchy. So once you've segregated the leads, if there are like 100 bricks in this, right? Assume that each lead is one brick. Each lead is one brick in the queue. So you move around those bricks so many times automatically, and you pick one brick that comes all them on the top based on this criteria. And that lead gets assigned to a loan officer now, so that this customer gets called back in time. But again, this is a good approach. This is a business favorable approach. And this is not the approach that loan officer would like it, because that lead could be of a lower amount or could be of a higher amount, or could be a good lead, could be a bad lead. Good lead because we know that in Texas we are having high chances of getting our customers from, and this is a quality lead. So chances are high that this loan officer is going to convert this customer, who is going to make profit because of our prediction. But if I assign second lead, which is less likely to get converted, and if I assign to second loan officer, there is still going to be a problem. There is a biasness in that, right? Am I right? So how would you remove that biasness? So when you want to assign leads, there are multiple ways you can assign it to. You can assign it based on someone's zip code, someone's skill set, like loan officer's skill set or loan officer's location, or you can just do simple logic. Person who is sitting idle for the most time should get the first lead, followed by the second, followed by the third, followed by the fourth. So if I'm sitting idle for 10 minutes and Amir is sitting idle for 5 minutes, I'm the one who should get first lead because I'm sitting idle for 10 minutes. And it just goes in that. That's called round robin fashion, right? So you basically just have, when you're assigning the leads for 50 loan officers, you only can assign it based on their expertise, based on idle time, or based on zip code, which is what we did in Uber, which is what we did in restaurants concept, correct? Expertise or subject, if you want to put. For call routing, we use subject, right? What people are calling about. So lead segregation, lead prioritization, and then lead gets assigned to a loan officer. Again, there is a trick here. One loan officer can receive multiple leads from these queues and from all these queues, or one lead can go to multiple loan officers at the same time. Over here, that is not a possibility because we said that we'll send leads to the person who is sitting idle the most time. If the person does not accept lead within 2 to 3 minutes, then it will go to the next person. And if that person does not accept, then it will go to the next person again. But we give them 2 to 3 minutes time that, hey, you have 2 minutes to accept the lead. And they are always like looking in front of the laptop. So they are always on top of it because that's their daily job. And they know that how important these leads are to them. They're making money on commission basis, right? So the exact concept that we did for Uber and restaurant concept has been replicated here. So whatever we have discussed right now, these are all business rules. Every single thing that we just discussed right now, these are all pure business rules and pure business process. Do you guys agree? If I would have asked about you, about this project, you would have not been contributed the same way. But now, can you relate the Uber journey and this journey is so similar? Any routing process for any company, for any project works on this mechanism. This is what the business runs after. And this is so important. If this is not done right, you will start losing customer. And there are 2 ways to do this. You can either use Salesforce CRM, some tools like Salesforce, where you can do this in like within a week, or you can create coding. You write code for all these things from scratch, and it can take you 6 months to do this. Salesforce comes with a heavy cost, right? That's like $500,000 to $1 million cost. And for small businesses, that's not affordable. So they create this logic on their own. One fallback option that I wanted to mention here was, we also want to put a condition here that if one lead is pushed down 5 times, after that, that lead will not be pushed 5 times further than that, because we want to make sure that customer gets served. It's like there is a customer waiting to request a ride. He's waiting for last 2 hours now. But just because that customer is not a good customer, you can't make him wait for 4 hours, right? You want to serve the customer at one point now. So that is that point. That is that break-even point. If a lead has pushed down by 5 or 6 times, then that lead gets the first priority in the queue, no matter what. And that lead gets assigned to the loan officer now. Whichever loan officer is available, based on their round robin fashion availability, it will get assigned to them. Are we good so far? Is this project making sense now?
Yes.
Can I hear yes from everyone? Any questions?
So
Yes, and I find this very
Yes.
applicable because I'm studying towards the Salesforce
Yes.
certificate
Mhm.
admin.
So you
So
create these queues in Salesforce. The queues that we just talked
yes,
about, you create them in
yeah, and they have
have-
different criterias in the sort that,
Yep.
as you said, if it's web-based, it's email-based, it's from the phone. So that's how
Mhm.
also, so it's very interesting, yeah.
Yep. And Salesforce does not just help you to route leads from online portal. It helps you to route leads from mobile application like Uber. Uber is using Salesforce, if I'm not wrong, to route their rides to a ride driver. Uber is using Salesforce, if I'm not wrong. And so online portal, call routing, mobile application routing, real-time routing, that is all being handled by Salesforce. And you can also do this on your own, right? Not every company can afford Salesforce. Only I think 2% or 3% of businesses are using Salesforce in the entire world. There are some other cheaper options than Salesforce, but those are not that reliable. And a lot of people do end up doing this groundwork on their own and making sure that they create this framework so that it is cheaper for them in long run. Salesforce is extremely expensive, very expensive too.
So
If you
is
want to hire a Salesforce admin who is going to manage this logic, that admin itself can take at least $120,000. So there are a lot of cost associated with Salesforce, so people do create this. So there are a couple of more things that you want to be aware about here.
Can
And
I have a question, James.
mhm. Go ahead.
So is this this Salesforce thing, is it just for finance purposes or
any business, as I said, right? You can use it for Uber, you can use it for airlines industry, you can use it for insurance, you can use it for your sales process anywhere and everywhere. Even for car dealership uses Salesforce. How a particular, when a customer inquiry comes in, how you route that inquiry to an agent on the field so that all agent gets equal chances to pitch in to a customer and sell the car and get commission from that. It's a basic business concept. Sales and agents, how you connect them. That's where Salesforce comes in the picture. That's where this logic comes in the picture. And every business has their own nuances of connecting them, but they need that no matter what. It doesn't matter which industry, which country they are from.
So I have a question.
Go ahead.
What I understand from this is it's in everybody's interest to convert the leads into actual sales. That's
Yes.
That's the objective.
Mhm.
And then you can devise your own logic based on your own needs to achieve that objective. That's
Mhm.
what I'm understanding. Am I wrong? Okay.
That's right. That's how it is.
Thank you.
And there are, so what I described is a concept right now, right? And this is a very tricky one to write business requirements about because you have to think about a lot of different scenarios. So when you create process flows, you have to be, it will take some time and you will need some help from other people in the company who are expert in this area because you can't do this on your own. You need to check data before creating these queues. You need to identify data around these things to come up with this logic. And that's where your business owner can be very helpful to you. But this is it's a little difficult task to write this because this is not something which you are seeing in front of your eyes. This is something you are visualizing and things are happening within fraction of a second online, right? This is not something where you can make connection. Hey, this is how the page looks like. This is more of a dynamic project where things are changing every second based on customers' request. So there are a couple of key concepts here that I wanted to walk you through when you are working on such kind of request. There is a concept of overflow queue, which is the exact thing that you guys mentioned in I think someone mentioned this, I don't know who, but someone said here, this one, high call volume and you can meet the demand, right? Exact same thing happens here. If you got like, instead of 5,000 leads, you got 50,000 leads today because you just started a new marketing campaign and or your news just got viral and you suddenly got like 50,000 leads. How are you going to handle that? So you need to have an overflow queue where all the additional leads, if these queues are running behind by like few minutes, if customers are not getting call within like 5 to 7 minutes when the leads getting assigned to them, then automatically there will be a wait time here. Wait time for 20 minutes, wait time 40 minutes, wait time 60 minutes. The moment wait time is more than 20 minutes, push all the leads to overflow queue that are coming after that. And there will be a dedicated team assigned to this overflow queue where people can just start picking these leads and start calling customers right there and then. Is it making sense? Business logic, pure business logic, right? And from the agent's perspective, like loan officers, in our case, agents are loan officers, right? This is what we need to take care about. What if there is an escalation? How to handle the escalation process? How to manage their schedules when they're out of office, when they're on holiday, what happens? If I've started working with one customer and now I'm out of office, how should I really help that customer now? As a business, I can't say that my employee is out of office, so I can't support you anymore, right? So there has to be a process, and still the commission should go to the person who has started the lead, or commission should be divided, or commission should go to the second person because he did a better job of closing that lead. So schedule management is very important. Loan officers work their schedule, out of office requirements, how many leads were closed in a day. So this is all for dashboard. Dashboard is something like, what is a coronavirus dashboard? If I go to Worldometer, this is coronavirus dashboard. In entire world, how many people are suffering by coronavirus? This is the number of cases, these are the death, these are the recovered things, this is the dashboard where you see the numbers, right? It helps you understand the threat of coronavirus is how bad, right? This is per country. So like this, you create a dashboard for your own team where you measure how many escalations we are getting every day, how many people are out of office today, how many leads were closed into customers, and that needs to be by state, by zip code, and by country. How many loan officers closed at least 5 leads a day? How many leads I get on daily basis, like as a loan officer? How to handle overflow scenarios, exceptional scenarios. One lead can be assigned to only one loan officer. Another officer can help when he's out of office. One loan officer can work on multiple leads. Team lead handles escalation through a call transfer or a lead transfer. So this is the process that looks like. Once the call comes to the agent, this is the process after that. This is the dashboard that we have to create. So as part of this project, you write requirements for this queue logic, lead assignment logic, and then the dashboard logic, how the process works after that. Make sense? Interesting project. Do you feel that you knew some elements of this before even joining these classes? It's just that you were not able to realize that you knew this. Am I right?
Yeah.
And this is what IT is about. If you become a really good customer about any product that you are using, you actually can build that product with the knowledge that you have secured in this class. You are capable of building that entire product on your own now. All you need is a help of a developer who's going to code for you, but you can create this entire model for someone, for some company, and run the show. And that's exactly what we were expecting from you in the office. Cool. So if you talk about this project, if you go through I'm going to send you some user stories for this project. And I think I'm not sure if I've shared the BRD for the Academy project with you or not. Let me go ahead and add that right now in Teams after the class. I'm going to add three different documents. So whatever we have covered in the class today, which is class notes and this spreadsheet, where you can see the lead case study and the concept of how the lead is routed here. Second is I'm going to share the BRD for Academy Mortgage Project. Third is I'm going to share that PowerPoint that I've shared before the class with everyone or the class curriculum. So you can look at those jargons and start preparing yourself for that jargon. And you should see all those things in like another 15-20 minutes being uploaded in the Teams chat under general files. But I think a lot of things I've shared in the class today. And usually by the time when I come to the third project, I actually give you an assignment on creating user stories on your own for this, because I feel this is a time where you have enough knowledge to start writing user stories on your own. And I do have these user stories created on my side, but I would like you to take your step first and then share the actual information so that you can actually think and write good user stories about this one. That's an assignment for this week, writing user stories for this project. You don't have to write all the user stories. Like 3 or 4 good user stories should be good enough.
So it will be related to this Bank
This
of
project.
America.
This project is Bank of America. This project where lead segregation, lead prioritization, lead assignment, and dashboard. 4 key concepts we have covered here. Cool. With that, I'll open up for the question and answer. The session is, I think, whatever I had to cover today, I think I did. Tomorrow we're going to focus on purely on testing and some portion of SQL. We still have 10 more minutes though. If you have any questions, we can discuss them right now. And Shrey, I want to connect with you after this call for a few minutes if you have time.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Anyone else has any questions?
So tomorrow is the last class, James.
Tomorrow is the last class from the curriculum perspective, but from the interview sessions and all, every Thursday we are still going to have the classes.
Okay.
And I'm going to share 2 classes, as I said. Those 2 classes will make sense only and only after we have really absorbed the knowledge that we have covered so far. And you can really talk in these jargons. Otherwise, FRD and data mapping thing is really going to bounce out of your head. And that is the only piece where you are actually talking with developers, and that knowledge is required there. Only for like out of 1 year in Waterfall, you need to have that conversation only for 5 days. That's it. And in those 5 days, what you're going to talk about, that entire discussion, that 6-hour video is about that. So your percentage of responsibility is too less there, but it's a very important responsibility that you will come across when you start working somewhere. And you will come across that. There is no way you will not face that. You will definitely come across that. And it's again just 5 or 6 basic jargons, and just questioning those jargons to the developers, and they will understand what you're talking about, and things are good. It's not that difficult. If you go through those videos, you'll exactly know what I'm talking about.
So would you be able to share the previous videos you discussed earlier? Like, I mean, from the class.
Previous videos, as in the ones
not
that
the
are
last week, the one previous to that, or
the ones that are on YouTube, you mean?
Yes.
I'm going to fix that problem on YouTube. I'm really surprised with the way YouTube has handled their channels. I've started using the channels from last probably a year and a half, because before this my classes were mostly in-person classes, and I started my online classes just a year and a half ago. And I'm surprised with the YouTube channel, the way they've created that. It's pretty pathetic. But I'm going to fix the problem, Samnit, and you all will soon have access to all the YouTube videos in a day or 2.
Okay.
And this video will be posted in a day or 2 as well.
Yes. So just to make you guys aware why it takes a day, once I end the class, Zoom takes about 6 hours to record the video, because it's a pretty long class, and it gets stored in my cloud. And from there, I have to upload that on YouTube. It takes another hour. From there, I have to set someone's permissions and do all those crazy things. And it's like probably 8 to 9 hours job before a video actually gets into the YouTube store.
Wow.
So, and again, I'm not working 8 hours to make that happen, but it's the process that just happens that way because of the video size.
It's the crazy things.
Yep. It could be much faster if it's in the office environment where your internet speed is too high and like you're paying so much extra money. But I think at a small business level, this is all I could afford.
So I was taking notes. What's the 4-step process called? I forgot to write it down.
Lead segregation, lead prioritization, and that's the one you're talking about, right? 4-step?
Yes, yes.
Lead segregation, lead prioritization, lead assignment, and dashboard or reporting. And you will see the spreadsheet right like in 15 minutes from now in Teams.
Oh, so I don't have to write it. Okay,
You don't have to.
okay. Thank you.
How do you guys feel now? Do you guys feel that you really know IT? IT is not about coding, guys. IT is about knowing how to create products. That is the job that we're going to apply for. I am excited. I don't know how about you all, but I am excited. I feel if I compare my all batches in the past, I try to excel my own standards after every batch, and I feel I tried like 4 new things with this batch, and so far you guys had the best training in my mind if I had to compare from all my previous batches. And I say this after my every next batch because I keep improving and I keep adding new stuff.
Thank you. Do you have a refresher badge also?
Refresher as in like if you want to attend the course again.
No, whatever you've improved on, can we attend that?
Oh, that's I don't know. It's all impromptu. I can tell you I don't come with the specific agenda in the class. I just have a high level thoughts. It all depends on the class forum and the kind of questions you guys ask. It completely drives from that. It's very hard to say that, hey, these are the new things I'm doing. But if I come across anything like that, I don't mind sharing those information with you all. I can share the videos, or if you want to be part of those 1 or 2 classes, I don't mind. It's your wish. If you have time, you're more than welcome.
Thank you.
I have a question about the assignment, James. So are we preparing the user story in terms of the processes or in terms of the user who's submitting the lead?
You will always, so over here, if you see when the leads are getting segregated, right? You can write this in three different ways, right? As an organization, I want this so that, or as a call center manager, I want this so that, or as a user, I want this so that. I would say you should always write as a user. And when the lead gets assigned to a loan officer and when you create this dashboard, you want to write as a manager. As a manager, I want to create a dashboard so that I can see this information.
Okay.
So your key users here would be actual customer submitting the lead and
Okay.
actual manager who is handling the entire process.
Okay.
So it's up to you guys. If you guys want to divide and conquer, one of you want to take a stab at writing BRDs, one group and second group wants to write the user stories, that's fine too. Or if you guys feel that you guys want to just write user stories, that's fine too. I believe we have already covered 2 BRDs, detailed BRDs in the class. I'm not too concerned about that, but I want to make sure that you guys get more practice on user stories because most of the projects are in Agile. So I want to make sure that you master that, how to write user stories. So that is the first priority. If you guys want to break it into different groups, it's your choice. If not, then BRD is the second priority.
Have you shared the user stories already?
It's already in the Teams.
Okay.
Let me open Teams and share you all the information where the information is living. Just give me 1 minute.
And one more thing, James, are you going to update the notes because your notes really help?
Yes, I already that is what I do. After every class, I repost the same notes that I have.
Because the last update was 22nd March, unless you updated them today.
After that, I think there was no update in the notes itself because we had covered the documents, the Excel spreadsheet in Agile. The entire thing was in Agile, the spreadsheet.
Okay.
So over here, let me share my screen. Can you see my screen? Can you see Teams?
Yep.
Over here, so you go to General. Under that files.
Yeah.
Under files, there is a folder called class documents. Why is it so slow? That's the reason. Give me 1 minute. Can you all still see Teams?
I can't see it.
No.
What happened? Screen sharing has stopped. Okay, let me. Give me 1 minute. I just unplugged my monitor and things started acting weird from there. Okay, can you see Teams right now or you cannot?
No.
No.
How about now? Can you see Teams now?
Yes.
Yes.
So my laptop is acting funky right now because it's super heated. But over here, do you see there is an option called class documents and files? When you click on that, all the files are under that. You will see all the files under that over here. There's a class notes. This will be updated to the latest one for today. There is the BRD. This Epic prioritization has the full agile overview here. Agile process, full process, I've cited here. And this is the BRD checklist. This is the differentiation. So all these documents you need to go through. And all your assignments that you're putting in, try to put it in the assignments group here. And there is a file section there and just put it there. But that's where you'll find all the documents. Make sense?
Yep.
All right, guys. I'll probably close the session in that case. And I'll call you in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
And again, it's up to you guys. If you guys want to create user stories only or user stories and BRD both, BRD is the second priority. Just know that. But user stories are more important right now. Okay.
Thank you. Have a good weekend. See you tomorrow.
Thank you all. Thanks, James.
Thank you.